Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. Welcome, everybody. Uh, I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and it's time for The Boys, Season 3, Episode 6, Herogasm. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you're feeling lucky, you can hit that bell down below as well. And YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. So the best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I have that schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages there as well. All right. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Giving you enough time to hit pause, all that kind of stuff. All right. Okay. Oopsie. He just lost his arm, his little arm that he was chewing on there. That's all. I hit it with my arm. So I'm gonna say this flat out right now. I was kind of disappointed by this episode. I was promised something shocking, something out of the ordinary, and I was like, it was okay. I mean, there was something shocking in it that happened that didn't have anything to do with Herogasm, so it was kind of funny. But Huey and Butcher, of course, are working with Soldier Boy. Mother's Milk, of course, is working with Starlight at this point in time. And Starlight gets the chance to meet up with Vicky again, Senator Newman. And Senator Newman comes clean and says that she knows that she and Huey both know that she's the head popper. And but she wants to work with Starlight to basically increase her followers and push Homelander out of the limelight and be a real leader. And Starlight's like, no, fuck this. I'm done with this. Basically, none of you are going to make anything better. You're just all the same people. And Vicky basically says, well, let's just keep us all between ourselves. She goes, otherwise, I might pop your head. And she makes her nose bleed. She makes Starlight's nose bleed a little bit. So just to kind of put her point across there. In the meantime, Huey is talking to Soldier Boy, and he's trying to get Soldier Boy to rein in the violence a bit so he doesn't kill so many innocent people. And Soldier Boy agrees to it, but we all know that that's not going to happen. In the meantime, Mother's Milk is fairly pissed off because yes, he wants Soldier Boy dead at this point, and Starlight does not want him to kill Soldier Boy, of course. And so all kinds of things are happening. Hey, Mercenary X84. And in the meantime, Kimiko is in the in the hospital waiting for Frenchie to show back up, and she gets abducted by little Nina's men. And oh man, that's a pretty much a shit show right there as well. It was. So we find out that Soldier Boy is hunting down, of course, Payback, and Billy wants to, of course, make a deal with him that if he lines up all the members of Payback, because they were all in on this, of course, of him getting abducted and going to Russia and being experimented on. If they help him, hunt down all the members of Payback, he'll take out Homelander for them, and he agrees to it. So they go after TNT, the brother and sister duo, who, when they join hands, they can fire off a little electrical voltage, I guess, and blow something up. And Starlight knows where they're at. And so she goes with Mother's Milk over to their house to go and warn them and try and get everyone out. Because right now they have the 70th anniversary of Herogasm going on, which is basically a giant orgy of C-list superheroes that's happening. Um, yeah. And the Deep, of course, goes over there because Homelander sends the Deep over there to just kind of watch and make sure that Soldier Boy doesn't show up. They find out that Soldier Boy, of course, is the person who put that big hole in the building in New York. And they figure out that, yeah, he's probably going after TNT next since they're close enough. Hey, Joe Greer. And the Deep ends up getting a little deep with another octopus. So, which Starlight ends up seeing. Mother's Milk gets the brunt of this one. Love Sausage shows up again and kind of annoys him a bit. Termite spreads some juice on Mother's Milk, and we're not going to say what kind of juice. And Mother's Milk, of course, gets splashed with a bunch of white goo, shall we say. Yeah, so that's pretty much the most shocking part of it is, the if you will, out of the orgy scene. I mean, the rest of it's fairly tame for the most part. The comic is a lot more graphic, I would say. And A Train shows up there. And we're trying to figure out why the fuck is A Train there, And it turns out that he's there because of Blue Hawk. Blue Hawk, of course, who crippled his brother, and he's there to he wants an apology from Blue Hawk, and Blue Hawk, of course, is not going to give him one. Um, so Huey, Butcher, and Soldier Boy show up, and Huey, of course, is going to do some reconnaissance and does find the twins, but he also finds Starlight, who is trying to get him the fuck out of there, and that's, of course, not going to work. Soldier Boy, of course, gets triggered and sets off the blast that takes out pretty much the whole house. There's a bunch of normal sex workers in there too that are abused because, of course, they don't have any superpowers and they're getting fucked by superpowered people. So yes, it's pretty horrific what's going on there. Mork says, so much hype. I was expecting almost an X movie. Yeah, exactly. Me too. Sirius says, I'm blurry on when Newman has to turn her eyes gray to pop heads, and when she doesn't, it's starting to bother me, particular because she goes all gray when killing one person. I don't know. I don't know how the show has it set up. Sirius, I don't know about that either. Mercenary says, I think the beginning of the season kind of lowered the expectation with the termite scene. Yeah, well, they couldn't exactly show. I know why they couldn't show where termite popped out from in Herogasm here, because then it would have gotten an X rating and it would not have been able to appear on Amazon. So, but they could do it in the first episode by showing just the tip of what he went into in the first episode. Because some people might not have made it out what it was, but anyway, I digress. So of course Homelander shows up, and is there a finite? Yes, there is a finite number of penises that they can show. Serious. Believe it or not, there is a standards and practices where you can only show so many penises. I shit you not. Tits are fine, but penises are a different story. That's why that the flaming penis had to happen, because they couldn't show it. So that's why I'm sure that was an after effect. I'm sure that was the standards and practices saying, nope, that's one too many penises, so they put flame on it. Which I thought was kind of funny, and also would be pretty painful too, is what I'm guessing. So Homelander shows up. There is a fight between Soldier Boy and, of course, Butcher, and Huey actually comes into it as well. And just before Soldier Boy is going to release his blast, if you will, he takes off. And the element surprise is gone now at this point, and they're pretty much fucked. And in the end of this, of course, Starlight ends up doing a video to all her followers and basically calls out Vought and says, yeah, superheroes are a nasty fucking bunch. No one cares about you. Um, she goes, "I'm done with this. I'm no longer Starlight," and she gives her real name, and that's how we leave the episode. And she says, "Vought will probably kill me, most likely to keep this quiet." And there we go. Yeah. A couple things I did like about this is that Soldier Boy mentions that he was the one that started Herogasm back in '52 with Liberty. And if you remember, Liberty is actually Stormfront, who he was dating back then. So yeah, Liberty is actually Stormfront. I thought that was a good little aside that was thrown in there. And the thing that made me laugh the hardest, which was probably the most inappropriate thing for me to laugh at, was when Soldier Boy is reminiscing about Cosby. He says, "Man, he made some really strong drinks. He made the strongest drinks," and I fucking just started laughing. I mean, that was probably I laughed for like a good 30 seconds, just because it was wrong, but at the same time, really, really, really fucking funny from a fish out of water perspective, where he doesn't know what the hell happened to Cosby. Yeah, the Cosby thing just made me laugh. It really did. Um, Jensen Ackles, he nailed that joke. I mean, he just absolutely nailed that fucking joke, and it made me laugh. Sirius says, "I think this episode leans heavily towards there being no one helping Homelander get rid of Edgar. He really was that clever, but now he's fracturing." Yeah. So that's the other thing too that we get out of this episode is Homelander. We see that he actually does have a split personality. He's talking to himself in the mirror, and this all fractured happening when he was in the lab when he was a child, and he did it in order to survive. And he really is fucking crazy. Um. So yeah. Um. Sirius says, "Fish out of water, Bill Cosby humor is always gold." Future Man pull. Yeah, that's right. They did. I forgot about that, Sirius. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The split personality was a surprise pen, I have to admit, but they did it so well in this too. Um, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to use for the thumbnail, honestly, on all of this, and I couldn't think of anything that well initially what I wanted to use was the deep with the octopus you know on his dick, and I couldn't find a picture of it, and I didn't want to do a screenshot and blah 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 blah. It takes too long, so yeah. You guys are waiting long enough for me as it was. So the surprising thing in this whole episode was A Train finally just kind of going ape shit on Blue Hawk, beating the fuck out of him, and then running with him and just dragging him. I think that was the most graphic thing out of this entire episode was him running with him at high speed and dragging him face first. You know, he's pretty much nearly naked across the gravel. And then is A Train dead? I'm going to say no. I don't think he's dead. I think he's going to come out of this okay. And also, right before all of this, he apologizes to Huey. He actually finally feels the emotion that Huey's been needing for Holly's death. So we come full circle as well on this whole thing with A Train apologizing for Holly's death, actually feeling remorse for it. And Huey just kind of like, "Fuck you, man." And he just kind of starts punching him. Well, he punches him once, and A Train's like, "How did you get so strong?" So yeah, it's yes, they did have the whole Robin illusion as well during Herogasm. So yeah. Mork says he finally apologized and meant it. I think A Train. No, no, he's not. Yeah, he's not dead at all. Sirius says the yell right before he runs away for the first time in his life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Penn Farm Girl said, "I knew A Train would pop his heart getting revenge. I expected him to give his brother V first." I like I said, I'm fairly sure that A Train's going to survive. Um, I'm sure Jesse Usher is the name of the actor. I had to think about it for a second. Jesse T. Usher. I'm sure he's got a contract that's got him in there for a couple of episodes. Oh, and the other thing that made me laugh too is when after the TNT death, or when they realize that Soldier Boy is going after TNT and all the members of Payback, and Homelander has mentioned it to Black Noir. He goes, "And you're my faithful friend. You're not going to leave my side." And Black Noir's just standing there as the Homelander walks away, and he's just standing there for a second. Then the elevator door opens up, and he turns and just walks into the elevator. And as the doors close, and there's just this woman in Black Noir in the fucking elevator, and he cuts open his arm, just splattering her with blood, pulls out the tracker, and then he hands it to her, and she says, "Thank you." Oh, that was just that scene also made me laugh in a very wrong way, but it was funny. And then he takes off. And then Homelander getting the news that Black Noir has split on him as well and is running away from Soldier Boy. Yeah, and I love how Soldier Boy basically said, no, Black Noir wasn't on this. He did everything that Vought told him to. He was a company boy. And that right there shows you that Vought, it's all Stan Edgar. Stan Edgar was the one that orchestrated Soldier Boy being taken by Russia. They are fucking telegraphing this like, big time. Yeah. Yeah, Mercenary X84. You made those words up. That was actually a pretty funny one too. Internet, Bluetooth, GPS. Yeah. Sirius says this wouldn't be a terrible conclusion to his. Yeah, true, but I'm sure he's still alive. Yeah. Penn says I almost think Blue Hawk deserve. I think Blue Hawk did deserve his fate, honestly, and it also so I'm not going to get into it. The way he died is actually a dragging death kind of thing has happened as uh you know racially motivated deaths, shall we say. And so a racist dying that way is actually kind of poetic. I know where Eric Kripke was going with that, and I saw what he did on that, and I was like, okay, I can see that. That was a little kudo. I gave him a little golf clap for that one. So Sirius says, haha, he should have told Soldier Boy about Quibby. That would have explained everything to him in a nutshell. Yeah. Mercenary says, when you see the boys diabolical, you see how close Homelander and Noir are. So Homelander feeling betrayed. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's true. You do see that in Diabolical. There was something else I wanted to say about that. Oh, so also before Soldier Boy takes out the twins, they tell him that Black Noir was the one that, of course, was the one that put this all together. And that's why he doesn't believe that Black Noir was the one that could do it. But of course, he starts hearing some Russian pop music again, and he just kind of goes off and kills everybody. He killed, what was it, 12 people? I think it was 12 people is who he killed. Yeah. And I did love that Termite finally dies as well. He's small and he's like injured, and he's like, help me, somebody help me. And then Homelander just squashes him as he lands. I did think that was kind of funny, just because Termite really deserved that, to tell you the truth. Morg says, do Huey and Starlight make up break up all the time? It's boring. Also, her finally having the balls to go against Homelander was good. I think this is a final breakup for them, Morks. I think when she said, this is really who you are, isn't it? And because he told her that, yes, her being stronger than him doesn't matter, and it really did. And all his insecurities finally surfaced with him using Compound V, the temporary V. And she sees him for the first time, who he truly is. He actually shows her for the first time who he truly is. And it's fairly disturbing. So that's, I think they're over with completely at this point. So yeah, and there's no going back on that one. I mean, if they do, it's got to they've got to do a lot of lifting on that one in order to get that relationship patched back up again. It's just way too much shit to unpack on that one for them to actually get back together again. So if they get back together again and kind of wash everything away and they're like, yeah, don't worry about it, it's not happening. Yeah. Mercenary says, it goes back to that line about Butcher saying that powers enhanced who you really were. Exactly. With great powers comes the chance that you're going to be a really big cunt about it, as he put it. They actually reiterated that at the beginning of the show in the recap, and that actually calls back to Huey, um, in the Starlight scene. So it was a good episode. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just that they promised so much more, especially with the disclaimer at the very beginning of this. And I was like, yeah, that was pretty tame for the most part. I mean, yeah. Siri says, Dennis, I almost forgot. I had a question. I'm almost positive that someone's nose begins to bleed in a seemingly random scene earlier in the season, possibly Maeve. Not that I remember. Yeah. Sirius says, with hindsight, it probably means Newman tried to pop her head, testing the waters, but I could be making all this up. I don't remember her nose bleeding. Yeah, I don't remember that. Because that would have been a big tell. I mean, we saw Starlight, of course, her nose bleed, and that was just Newman telling her that, yes, I can do it. Even though she kind of said, hey, let's see if we can do it, kind of thing. And, but yeah, she probably can. Homelander, on the other hand, she probably is going to have a little bit of a problem. He's got super speed. He's got laser eyes. He can fly. Yeah, she'd probably be dead before she could even get her eyes going gray. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen without help. But she really doesn't even want that. She really just kind of wants to leave the status quo as it is, and just wants to have. I don't know if Newman actually realizes how unhinged Homelander really is, and that he really doesn't care about this whole thing about the company. He doesn't care about other people. All he wants is, as when he's having that conversation with himself, is he wants to be loved. But is it through fear? Is it through actual love, to be adored? There is this is an interesting question, which I know Kripke is going to get into, as what does it mean for these heroes who want to be loved? What kind of love is it? Is it a love because of what they do? Is it a love for who they are? Or is it a love because people fear them? And I think that's what he's going to be kind of going over a little bit in this season as well. Siri says, I got to rewatch. Yeah, if I remember correctly, Newman wasn't in the scene, so it seemed random. But then we find out that Homelander and Newman are working together and Maeve disappears. I don't think Maeve is dead. I really don't think Maeve is dead. Although I could be wrong. Who knows? And like I said, I don't think A-Train is dead either. So, yeah. Maybe because they couldn't kill her easily. Possibly. I think we'll find out next week. Oh, and I almost forgot the whole thing with Frenchie. So Frenchie, of course, is naked and has a bike lock wrapped around his neck and is locked to a metal tower, while Kimiko and Cherie are handcuffed in the chair, and little Nina she wants him to choose. But Kimiko is able to pick the lock on her handcuffs and fucking just goes ape shit on one of the Russian dudes. And yeah, I mean, it's a brutal fight scene. It really is. Little Nina gets away, of course. Cherie knocks her down, but she takes off. And Kimiko has the revelation that the monster she was always the monster. She keeps saying that she's a monster, and she says, I've always been the monster, and it wasn't that the compound V brought it out of me. It's always been in here. And yeah, it's they're both tragic figures, Frenchie and Kimiko, and it's just, yeah, I mean, their whole story is sad. It really is. But we'll see what happens. So you got 3 different groups now that are happening. The boys are fractured. 4 if you count Mallory and Ryan as well. Because remember, don't forget about them. They're off in the distance at the moment, but they could be brought into all of this as well. And we've got Newman, who doesn't really want to work with Homelander, but is working with Homelander in some kind of way. So, yeah. Well, they're not bosom buddies. They are partners of circumstance, if you will. Homelander is kind of forcing her into working with him. Same way he's doing that with, or was doing that with Starlight, because Homelight is no more. Yeah, that all has gone to shit. And the whole thing with Ashley being the CEO of Vought, and oh my god, the shit that she's gonna do. Yeah. So, all right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I might have overlooked, but I don't think there is. I think we've covered everything. So, oh, and we also find out, by the way, how MM's family died by Soldier Boy, and it's actually I don't know if it wasn't his entire family; it was his grandfather. Um, but the way they made it sound, or the way originally it made it sound, was like everyone died. But remember, his father died of a heart attack while trying to sue Vought. Is what happened. Yeah. Mercenary says I had questions about how Huey's powers affected others. What do you mean? Because he could teleport, he had super strength, and I think that was about it. I think that's all he's got. I remember he's got to clench his butt cheeks in order to teleport. Oh man, that's some funny shit. I don't even know if he's invulnerable, but that was a pretty good fight though between all three of them, four of them, four of them. Yeah. I didn't know you could teleport other people. Yeah, I didn't know that either. And I thought it was kind of funny too when he teleports Starlight and her clothes disappear as well, or her clothes stay where they teleported from, and they're both naked, and they're having the argument naked too. That's the other thing that was kind of funny. Um, not just not funny, but kind of real in a way, because they're comfortable with each other, but at the same time they're having this really serious argument, and yeah, it was just eh, good writing. All I can say is good writing, um, good character development, and this kind of course, differs from the comic too, just the way the story's been playing out. And I'm kind of wondering how Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson feel about how this story has kind of diverged from where their comic was or came from. I think that would be kind of an interesting question to see. Sirius says the rant was good though when she goes off on A Train. Great foreshadowing for his apology and total permanent death. Yes, yeah. You think it's totally permanent death? I don't think so. He has to come back for his brother. Somebody's got to look after his brother. Or maybe Huey comes back and looks after his brother. Who knows? That could be an interesting turn of phrase there. Sirius says that apology was the first time I actually liked that actor. Yeah, well, I mean, that's good acting right there. When you really, really fucking hate a character just because of how narcissistic they are, and then they can turn like that. And yeah, that's actually some good acting. Yeah. He did a good job. He did a great job. Everyone does a great job on this show. So, all right. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be off. Sunday is going to be the Sunday morning edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about. Monday is going to be Westworld. That's right. The new season of Westworld starts Sunday night. So I'm actually going to do it Monday. Tuesday is going to be the Umbrella Academy season 3. If I can get through it, it's going to be Is It Worth My Time? Umbrella Academy season 3 on Netflix. Wednesday is going to be Miss Marvel. That's right. Miss Marvel is going to be on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be the contest results. Remember, there's a contest going on right now. If you go over to the Obi-Wan Kenobi the season finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi, that video, there is a contest. All you need to do is comment in the comment section, and as long as you live in the continental United States, you're entered into the contest, and you got to do it before next Thursday. There you go. And then of course we roll back around to Friday to the boys. So there we go. Mostly for casting reasons, like you said. I'm waiting for the pun. What pun? I don't have any puns going on. I don't know what you're talking about. So, with that said, thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, why? Take a look at the video that pops up here at the very end. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of my almost 1,000 videos that I haven't going on here, and it pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there, and if you can before you leave, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. Well, you only get one Lego figure, Sirius. And yeah, that's how it works. You get one, not two, but one. You only get one entry, no matter how many comments you put in the comment section. Yeah. They're right here, as a matter of fact, too. So, Vader and Stormtrooper. There you go. Anyway, I'm going to let you go for the night. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be just minding your own business at a nice, comfortable little orgy that's going on. It's the 70th anniversary. And then who has to come along and fuck it up but the guy who started the thing in the first place and is kind of a little bit pissed off? It does happen. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Sunday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, and get the booster as well. It doesn't work without the boosters. And I will see you again on Sunday. Have a good rest of your night, and stay safe out there and take care. Have a good one, and I'll see you Sunday.